Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, 𝗬𝗍𝗿. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
Hi legends. Excuse me. Hi legends. What is up? What is Bitcoin doing here? Let's focus here on the larger time frame. I also found the problem with my internet. I found the problem with my internet this morning. I figured out the problem because 2 or 3 live streams a day ago, I remember people complaining about it's pixelating, the quality is not coming through, the internet speed is not on my side. Right, legends, I found the problem. This was the problem. I want to see if you guys can see and read that. This was the problem. This Volcano brand, do not buy Volcano. Okay, it's my little Ethernet adapter, my USB-C Ethernet adapter. Right, everyone recommends not using Wi-Fi because it's unstable. Right, although you have high speed, you need to use the adapter thingy. So I went and I bought the adapter thingy, and it was quite expensive. I must add, it was quite pricey. And I increased my internet speed, and then I did a speed test, and I still got very low speeds coming through. And then I figured out it's the damn adapter, because when I plug the Ethernet cable directly into another laptop that has a port, I get higher speeds, much higher speeds, okay? And then when I plug it into this damn adapter, the speed goes down by 80%. Right, so legends, you know, just to prove to everyone, the problem cannot be on my side, okay? I've done an internet test speed, and I want to show everyone over here, the problem is not on my side. So if there's any buffering and you cannot see, okay, you know, the speed is really good here on my side. So it's almost a gig down at the moment, and it's what, how much is the upload speed? Let's say around about 500 upload speed. So speed is not a problem at the moment. I bought a new adapter, okay, called, what is this adapter called? It's called Balkan adapter, right? So this one seems to be working way better. Apparently they've partnered up with Apple. So if you do have an Apple product, I do recommend this brand. Okay, cool, legends. So it's all sorted out. Right, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I have been having some issues with the streams lately, and it seems that now it's all sorted. Okay, remember to smash up that like button. I just had to share a little bit of personal stuff. You know, some of the things that I struggle with on a day-to-day basis as well. Stupid things like internet speed. I even went and increased my internet speed. I used to have 500 up and down, and now I have a gig down and 500 up. So it seems that the internet speed wasn't the issue. It was the damn adapter. Okay, right, legends. You think you buy a product, and even the box, that Volcano adapter, the box said a gig up and a gig down. Okay, the box lied. It lied. I got like 100 up, 200. If I'm lucky, I get like 200 up and 100. 100, 100, 200, 200. Right, legends. Let's smash up that like button. Let's do some technical analysis. And the first thing I also want to address, or the second thing I want to address over here is what played out yesterday. Okay, we got the momentum to the upside. Sometimes technical analysis does not play out, right? It's just part of the game. And this is why we trade with stop losses. So surprisingly, I thought I was going to get some nasty messages, people laughing and saying, Dewald, you said we're going to fall down, and we actually moved up, right? But you guys were actually surprisingly supporting, and I got some very encouraging messages from people saying, Dewald, you know, it is what it is. Analysis does not always play out. As long as you are right most of the times, that is what keeps you successful as a trader, right? And that is exactly it, legends. I'm not going to get it right all the time. Technical analysis showed me weakness and price continued to pump to the upside. The CVD indicators showed bearishness and we continue to pump to the upside, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, I need to trust my trading system because that is what's keeping me profitable. You cannot be wrong once and then write off the trading strategy. You have to backtest it multiple times and then you come up with a percentage. So if you keep on doing your analysis the way that you are doing it and you get a 70% accuracy rate, for example, don't be discouraged on the 30% of times when you get it wrong, because you have to stick to the trading plan, because that one time you get it wrong is part of the 30%. So out of 10 trades, if you get it wrong 3 times, it's part of the game at the end of the day. So just wanted to address that. Yes, we got the momentum to the upside, right? It is what it is. We tapped that 0.88. I see someone made a comment, and we'll go through the comments because there's a lot of altcoin requests in the comments. Today, I want to focus on Bitcoin, Chainlink, and Ethereum, or Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink. There's some new things that I picked up on Chainlink as well that I would like to share. And right, so legends, let's dive here into the technical analysis. Hi Dewald, are the 48k low and 78k low structures looking similar? Would like your opinion. I can go and look at that in a moment. Okay, let's first do some technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin, and you know, I will go through some Q&A with the community. You know, let's have a fun live stream today. Actually, I did not do a Pro Legends community update just as yet. I thought to myself, I'm going to swing it around a little bit today. I'm first going to do a nice little YouTube live stream for everyone. And then a little bit later, I'm going to focus on the Legends Pro community and give them a private update. Okay, some intraday trading setups that I'm looking at. Okay, so Legends, first thing I want to focus on over here is the larger time frame. I'm here on the 8-hour time frame on Bitcoin. Okay, and something just very obvious to point out is that the trend is your friend until the very end, and we are still within trend. Okay, the trend is still up. This looks like, you know, it created those waves to the upside and it's coming back for a retest, and maybe, you know, it's wait, let me just not do that. My hand slipped over there, right? Maybe we're just going to consolidate and build up a little bit of spring over here, and then we're going to continue here to the upside. I think what's important to note about the higher time frame over here is that we have massive support to the downside, incredible support to the downside. So if Bitcoin does lose the trend, okay, it's going to look bad. We've lost trend, we're going to the downside, and then you maybe find support. This is massive, massive, massive support. Okay, I cannot stress it enough how powerful the support is, right? A multi-month, 8-month consolidation area over here. Massive volume that needs to break for Bitcoin to lose this area, and you could still get a very successful bounce here to the upside, going beyond $170,000, right? The deeper the correction, the more bullish I actually become, and that's why I'm mentioning $170, even $200, even $300,000 if we do get momentum here to the downside, because this is the low that needs to be lost in order to change macro market structure. Okay, I can imagine how bearish people will be over here, only to form a higher low, and then you continue a rampage here to the upside. But for now, okay, we are bouncing on the trend, and maybe you're building up a spring for continuation over here. Maybe we're not going to get over here, because Legends, the one thing I remember clearly, and most of you will remember this as well, when we made this low, and when we were trading in most of this range, everyone called for this area over here. Sorry, Legends, let me just put my phone on silent. Okay. I remember when we were here, everyone said $42,000. because there was a massive support in this zone. There wasn't a lot of support over here. And it kind of feels like it's this, you know, it feels like history is repeating itself. We are over here and everyone is calling for this zone. We are over here and everyone was calling for this zone. We did not tap this zone and we might not tap this zone. Okay, so just have to put it out there. The trend is your friend until the very end. A key level to the upside that needs to be reclaimed for the bulls is, and I've purposefully put the resistance here because it aligns with this high volume node over there. It's a tough nut to crack. Volume nodes are usually the tough nuts to crack. Okay, so if Bitcoin can find the strength to build up some momentum over here and it can start getting back above the $100,000 area, let's just call it the round number, the psychological $100,000 area, there's a good chance that it's going to continue to the upside and not just do this, because you have now bounced, you've grabbed all of the liquidity at the bottom, you've stopped out everyone over here, you've dipped into the liquidity pool, and if you do now successfully break this area and flip it into support, there's a high chance that you are going to finally continue to the upside. Okay, there's also another nice little trend building up over here, right? I'm sure everyone knows about that little trend. Okay, you break out. Okay, you crack that, you know, because you could reject, come back for a retest and then break out. So, you know, it's very important resistance over here, but you want to start changing market structure. You want to claim that high, you want to make a higher high, you want to make some higher lows, and then bam, off to the races we go. So it's always good to just zoom out a little bit and look at the oil painting from a little bit further away so that the picture starts making sense. There's nothing to panic about yet. Okay, looking at this simple trend line, okay, I actually, you know, some people might actually feel silly and say that, well, you know, that was the best buying opportunity. When you bounce on the trend, this is where you're supposed to buy. 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 The rest is just noise at the end of the day, right? So I think we are still in the zone. Okay, a great zone for accumulation. I do see that there's a lot of whales still accumulating. We've got the crypto summit, guys. We've got the crypto summit coming up tomorrow, right? For some reason yesterday I thought today is Friday. So I mean, worst feeling in the world. if you're looking forward to the weekend, maybe you've got something special planned, and right, and it's not Friday today. It's only tomorrow, right? But legends, tomorrow in this the White House crypto summit, we've got Donald Trump, obviously. Some of the names that I recognize over here is Bo Hines, David Sachs. I think they also have a YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, I will get to it. Right, you've got Brad, Michael Saylor, Kyle, Kathy Wood from ARK, Charles from Cardano, ADA, right? You've got some big names in here, right? Brian Armstrong, okay, Coinbase, right, CEO, and right, some big names over here. So I think there's a lot of anticipation. And is this now going to be sell the news event, or is this going to be the catalyst that's going to send us to higher levels? That's now the question. And I do see a lot of these, you know, Solana, ADA, some of the tokens that was mentioned with Donald Trump's tweet. They've done some phenomenal things already to the upside. Okay, ADA actually looks very, very, very strong. ADA looks incredibly strong. We can go and look at some of those altcoins as well. But right, legends, we're all looking forward to see what's going to happen. Oh, I see CZ is going to be there as well, right? Ex-CEO. Right, cool, legends. Now, this is the high-level time frame analysis here on the price of Bitcoin. You know, sometimes it's just good to zoom out to see where you are. And looking at this picture, there's nothing to panic about. Okay, from a spot bag perspective, from an investment perspective, I don't think there's anything to panic about. In fact, this was a great buying opportunity. Without knowing anything about technical analysis, if you can draw a trend, right, that was a good buying opportunity. A good DCAing opportunity. And I would even argue that this is still a good DCA zone over here. And this will even be because I know that I know about some people, some very high profile people that said they are waiting for this zone. Well, guess what? There was a lot of people waiting for this zone and they didn't get it. So then the market forces you to buy in at higher levels. okay, this was a great zone. This to me is still a great zone to accumulate, because you might not get here. You might be saying that, you know, I'm going to sell my left kidney when we get over here. I'm acknowledging the support. I'm going to sell my wife and stay in a tent. Sorry, I'm going to sell my house and stay in a tent, right? When we get to these levels, we might not get there. You know, we've bounced perfectly here on the trend. We are currently finding some upwards momentum. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was also a 200-day moving average over here that we tapped twice, and you know, and keep bouncing on that level. So definitely a strong area of support where we are at the moment. I've already sold both kidneys. Whoa, wow, right. Cool, legends. That is the higher time frame analysis. So let me take this all out the way. I don't need this anymore. Okay, let's just hide all of this and switch off the VRVP. This VRVP, legends, is actually quite a very handy tool, because even when you go on to, let's say, for example, the 1 hour time frame, I'm not sure if any one of you are using the VRVP as part of your trading strategy, but what's nice about this VRVP, it shows you the high volume nodes, and in trading, high volume nodes provide resistance and support. Okay, if you struggle to identify resistance and support levels, use the VRVP. It will really help you a lot, because you can see, for example, with this little high volume node that we have over here, look at where the price rejected. It couldn't break through and we fell down. Okay, so there's still a big nut to crack over here. Okay, that $97,000 area, big nut to crack over here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if price just consolidates and it tries, maybe it rejects and it tries again. Okay, but it's going to be a tough nut to crack, this little point of control over here. That little red line in the middle is the point of control, which means this is where the most amount of volume was traded. Okay, so it shows you the point of control. Also, when you go onto the 15-minute and you look at a specific structure, you can also use the VRVP to say that, well, inside of this structure, where are the high volume nodes? There's a high, oops, sometimes it jumps around depending on what price action you have on the screen. Okay, let's just wait for it. Are you finished now? Okay, cool. So there's a high volume node. High volume node. Okay, you can see how it's at the lows and at the consolidation areas. High volume node, right? There's also a daily level there. Okay, high volume node here below, just below the low, high volume node. So it's always interesting to pay attention to these levels when price, if price had to continue and hit one of these high volume nodes and it aligns with a 0.618, when you take a fib from the low to the high, maybe you have a daily level, a weekly point of control, whatever the case might be. If you have some confluence at an area, definitely a zone where you could get a bounce. Okay, so I don't look at it often enough, and I should start including it a little bit more in my technical analysis. Okay, legends, now let's speak about what happened yesterday. I am still not, call me crazy, I'm still not convinced that this is an impulsive structure to the upside. So yesterday, because, and this is where my thinking is stemming from, because this is a three-wave structure, okay, it's very difficult to just start forming 5-wave structures and we break to the upside. The only bullish structure that could potentially continue the bull market over here is the following. Okay, so let's just zoom out onto the 1 hour time frame and we look at this structure over here. And I actually labeled it the only bullish structure that could take us out. And where did I put it now? Daily levels, point of only bullish. There we go. This is the only bullish structure that could potentially take us back to all-time highs and back into price discovery. Okay, because the structure started with a three-wave structure, all the waves has to be three-wave structures. It doesn't all necessarily have to be ABC waves. It can be WXY waves as well. So from a simplicity perspective, all I did over here is to say that ABC, oops, let's just undo that. Where's my pen? ABC, ABC, ABC. We may be forming another ABC here to the upside. Okay, maybe this B still needs to drop over there. Okay, but this could also be a WXY. It can be another WXY. It can be complex corrective structures. And inside of each structure, you have an ABC. Okay, you can have another ABC. You can, it can get crazy, but it's three-wave structures. It's corrective structures. It's either WXYs or it's ABCs. Okay, but you guys get the point. So this is potentially, if this is the low, based on the larger time frame, okay, because I'm putting the puzzle together over here. Based on the larger time frame, we've bounced on the trend. If we are going to still continue momentum here to the upside, you want a structure like this. Okay, you want multiple three-wave structures, and basically what it equals is it equals a range to the upside that contracts. And then you have a deeper correction to the downside. Okay, once it's finished over here, you usually have that flash crash to the downside that still forms a higher low, scares the crap out of everyone. We're going back to $72,000, and then you explode to the upside. Okay, sorry, legend, my tip of my nose is itchy. And now the question is, was this now maybe the A wave, and we're now going back for a B wave? Okay, maybe we're gonna get like what happened over here. Okay, I'm just speculating over here, legends. When Trump posted that tweet, we got that breakout and a C wave to the upside, and then we just smacked back down. Maybe that's what's gonna happen tomorrow, right? Maybe we're now creating the B wave here to the downside. And then tomorrow, all hell breaks loose and we do another one of these ones, C wave. C waves are very aggressive, very impulsive. It even takes the high. Ooh, we're back in the bull run, baby, right? And then this happens, ABC, back to the downside, ABC. And it can even be more aggressive. It could be a little ABC like this, you have that A, shallow retracement, BC. Exactly what happened over here. ABC to the downside, right? ABC to the downside. And then we start back up. Three-wave structure back to the upside that claims the high. Oh, bull market is back. Oh, bull market is not back. Oh, right, bull market is back. No, definitely bull market is not back. And then it just leaves without everyone. So it's interesting just to think about the psychology of these scenarios. Right, legends, it is very unlikely, never impossible. It's very unlikely to do this and just go back into price discovery. You have to form a structure, okay, a five-wave structure to take you to all-time highs. It's not time yet. It's not time. I still, at least, maybe people are going to see this, okay, as higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, now it's time. And then you lose it. You go make the bigger correction and then you fly to the upside, because everyone that was seeing the higher lows and higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, guess what they're going to think? Momentum is shifting, okay? And they're going to put their stop losses below these lows. Right, and then you get, after you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what do? You get an ABC. It flushes out all the stop losses, it makes a higher high, higher low, and then it continues. So a very interesting scenario to keep in mind, although, like I've said in one of my previous live streams, it is still very early to call for this scenario. Okay. But it's kind of like the only bullish scenario that we have left. Okay, it really is. Unless something, unless I can think of something else, or maybe you guys can come up with maybe your own Elliott wave counts. But this is the only bullish structure that I see that could potentially take us back to all-time highs. The low needs to hold. First of all, the low needs to hold, and we need to form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get out of here. Okay. It's not time yet. I have not seen or heard of any structure in Elliott wave theory that you form a three-wave structure and you just do this and you just never come back. If we have formed a five-wave structure over here, I would have said, yes, it has a high chance to create a 3, 4, 5 here to the upside. It's just not, the structure is telling me a different story. The structure tells you a story over here. The structure is telling me that it still needs to go sideways before we go up. Okay. Right, legends, remember to smash up that like button. If you'd like to come and trade Bitcoin with me, okay, that Weeks is pulling out all the stops over here, earn up to 50% cashback bonus, up to $1,000. So if you deposit $2,000, you'll get $1,000. If you deposit $5,000, you'll get $1,000. $10,000, the max cap is $1,000. Okay. You deposit $200, you get an additional $100 to trade with. And all you need is an email and a password. Link down in the description of this video. I actually want to open up this video because there's some nice comments I want to go through today. Okay, first link down in the description. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. Bluffin also, only an email and a password to sign up. With Weeks, you also get 0% maker fee and 25% off your taker fee. Right, so if you'd like to come and trade with me and support the channel, those are the links, and I always, organize you guys the best deals as well. And those two are, the email and password exchanges. You don't need to verify yourself. Okay, let me go through some comments. I'd like to know what you guys think, okay? If you can come up with a bullish structure over here that just does this, be my guest. Please share it inside of our Legends community. I would like to see it. What counts have you come up with over here? Because I just cannot see it at the moment. Okay, and maybe more price action needs to develop before I can see it. And this is why I was also looking for the weakness. That little trend over there, that's why I was looking for the weakness. Is to say it's very unlikely to have a multiple 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and it's just building up a spring that's going to shoot here to the upside. It doesn't make sense. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen, right? Because the market is here to surprise us. Is there a high likelihood of it happening? No, the probabilities are against us just going back to $110,000 from here. Okay. Cool. Let me go through some comments. Good morning, Dewald. Was excited to see your reaction to the pump that happened. Yes, I got some comments, people saying, I can't wait to watch the next live stream. I want to see how you react to that. Okay, I'm still seeing this as an A wave. I'm seeing this as an A wave. Okay, an A wave is a 5-wave structure. We do have 5 wave structures inside of this momentum to the upside. But it could also be a little bit of a, when I counted the smaller time frames, and I'll go into the smaller time frames now, it kind of looks like a little bit of a WXY. A 3-wave structure inside of your A wave, because an A wave is allowed to be a 3-wave and a 5-wave structure. Okay, and this looks like it's forming a 3-wave structure here to the upside. Okay, so it's either in already, or maybe it's going to make another high here to the upside. And it's even perfectly fine if it takes the highs over here. Doesn't matter. It's allowed to take the highs. Okay, but you still the theme. The party theme is that even if we claim the highs, you still want to go sideways to form this contracting diagonal. Okay. Right, so it will be interesting to see how this develops in the next coming days. Right, legends. Now, let's zoom into the smaller time frame and go and talk about, well, what happened yesterday. Okay, so let me switch this off. This is now the juicy part that everyone wants to know. What happened yesterday? We had this trend over here, and I just need to make it thinner. Right, let's put it on my dotted line. The reason I put it on the dotted line and I like to make it thin is so that I can see that I'm tapping the pivots perfectly. So we were over here yesterday in the live stream. Okay, I pointed out the sign of weakness, and this is all just based on backtesting, legends. It's never perfect. It's based on backtesting. From a backtesting perspective, when you have a high candle that shows weakness and it leaves a wick behind, usually you fall to the downside. We did fall to the downside. We did, okay, but we didn't do that. Okay, I was at least looking at this low, right? So, I mean, we just lost out on that little move over there. Okay, so we did get weakness to the downside, but then a miracle happened and Bitcoin found strength after the weakness. And when we were trading over there, okay, we did not tap the 0.88. And I said, well, guys, this is a good zone to short because that's where I would short. Right, we were looking at this little structure. So take the fib, from the high to the low. We did not tap the 0.88. And I said, well, for me, that's such a great entry and such a beautiful stop loss. Okay, just have to, sorry, just take the comment there out the way. That is where you short, because I've seen this movie many times before where you do not claim the 0.88 and you fall down. And where did I see this movie? Because, you know, guys, if you start back testing it, look at what happens when you back test it. This is what happened over here. Was it? No, sorry, higher up, much higher up. Okay, it's what happened over here. Can I explain this yesterday as well? So out of the 3 scenarios that I'm going to show you now, it didn't play out, but yeah, it played out. You don't tap the 0.88 and you fell down. There was another one. Okay, this one over here, because I took this trade. I will never forget. Was it yeah, sorry, legends, just took me a while. I think it was this one. Okay, another one. You didn't tap the 0. You fell down, you came back up, you rejected by the 786, you did not tap the 0.88, and you went and claimed the lows, right? And then you can go and back test it even more. I think, yes, you know, I'm not going to go and try and find all of them, but you can go and back test it even more. This was quite a weird one. You know, sometimes they don't play out. This one actually did tap the 0.88. Yes, double top. Okay, so this one also didn't play out. Well, what I'm trying to say is it did tap the 0.88. Price was supposed to move higher. It didn't. It fell down. Okay, so sometimes they don't play out. But if you backtest your strategy and 100 times and 70 times out of the 100 times it does play out, now you have probabilities on your side. So when you see the same scenario, you know that 30 out of 100 times it's not going to play out, and this is why you have stop losses. Okay, this is why you have stop losses. It's to protect you against the 30% of the time that it doesn't play out. Okay, so unfortunately there isn't technical analysis that is 100% accurate. And if there was technical analysis that's 100% accurate, we would all be billionaires. Okay, there would be no hunger. Everyone would have food. Okay, because it would just be easy to make money. Right, and this is why we trade with stop losses. Cool, legends. Now, we have broken the trend to the upside. Okay, what can I say? Okay, it didn't play out. We got momentum here to the upside, but the structure still looks weak. And what do I mean by weak? Because yesterday we were speculating on, well, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And this is a corrective structure. So now you have 1, now you have 2. Now you built another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now you have another 1 and you have another 2. So it's a double 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Usually after the second 1, 2, you want to see that. Okay, and a third wave, because it's built up momentum for a spring to the upside. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You know, that's how I usually say it. But now we have this just grinding very slowly here to the upside, which tells me I think this entire structure is a corrective structure. It's not an impulsive structure. Because to build up 1, 2, 1, 2, and now you may be building up another 1, 2, 1, 2. So after so many 1, 2s, right, the more 1, 2s you have, the higher we're gonna go, right? And it's gonna absolutely rocket here to the upside. And based on the larger time frames, I've showed you guys why I think that's not possible. So this must be a corrective structure. So first, still, okay, I'm going to go through my trusty CVD. And although it failed us yesterday, okay, where was yesterday? Yesterday was over here. There was bearish CVD building up. Okay, can you guys see bearish CVD between those two pivots? And we moved higher. Right, there was bearish CVD, there was bearish CVD, there was bearish CVD. Okay, but also CVD is 74% accurate. So there will be times where sometimes it gets invalidated, but I'm not going to write off my CVD indicator because one time it got it wrong. No, I'm not throwing away my trading strategy because one time it got it wrong. What about the other 9 or 8 or 7 times it got it right? Okay, so now, again, I'm looking at CVD over here and I'm just, I have to acknowledge that I'm seeing a lot of weakness at the moment. Again, I'm seeing weakness, which tells me it's not an impulsive structure, because impulsive structures, okay, when you form 1, 2, oh, sorry, let me take the pen. When you form, let me just make sure if everyone can see my screen. Let me do this. Give us some more blank paper over here. When you form 1, 2, 1, 2, and let's say you form a magnitude of 1, 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, between each low and higher low, okay, you will see bullish CVD. And I've checked that and I've backtested it on the previous 1, 2s that I've seen. There's bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, and then all of a sudden it gets that God candle to the upside. I am seeing weakness, okay, at the moment. As price is grinding up, there's just bearish. It keeps on invalidating them, but it's just building up bearish CVD, and at some point you're going to fall down. Okay, so that is still what I'm seeing. Again, there is bearish CVD building up here at the moment. So we have bearish CVD. Even against some of these pivots, bearish CVD, okay, bearish CVD. Okay, there's, I mean, you guys can see, I mean, look at how crazy Bybit is building up bearish CVD. I'm just not seeing any strength at the moment. There was bullish. The target is the high. Okay, so now I'm saying, guys, it looks like CVD is playing against each other. You have bullish CVD and you have bearish CVD. So in times like these, I just say, for now, okay, I'm going to trade price action. I'm not going to look at CVD at the moment. But I do see more weakness than strength at the moment. So perhaps shorts is still on the cards. So I will then take a FIP from the high to the low. I'm now looking for shorting opportunities. You can see where we got the rejection this morning was at the 786. We got a rejection. Okay. Yes. And we could continue the momentum here to the downside because this could be an A wave that is now completed. And if it does go a little bit higher, I have areas of interest. Okay. That's where you start building up your point of controls, your daily levels. Where can they like to be? Daily levels, weekly levels, monthly levels. Let's just dirty the kitchen here at the moment so we can make some delicious food and look at the levels of confluence. So if price continues to the upside, for some miracle, it continues to the upside. Well, I also call this a miracle, what happened over here. Okay, but if it continues to the upside, I'm going to be paying attention. Naked point of control, 0.88. This little pivot, beautiful. Shorting opportunity, depending on how price reacts over there. Okay, I also, and then obviously we have the daily level here above as well. And then, you know, when you go a little bit further up, now things starts getting crazy. And I know it looks a little bit messy, but let me maybe try and do this. Switch off the levels and do them one by one. So you have a monthly level over there. Okay, monthly level. If I switch off the monthly level, you have a weekly level over there. If I switch off the weekly level, you have a daily level over there. You have point of controls over a point of control over there. So you can see in that zone, when I switch on all the levels again, in this little cluster over here, there is massive resistance. So if price by some miracle keeps on grinding here to the upside, maybe you get the rejection, it continues, this is going to be a tough nut to crack, and this is where I'm looking for an epic swing failure pattern from the highs. Because this could be an epic trade that sends you all the way back down. Okay, nice little deep correction to the downside. Okay, it's you know, it's like catching the top over here and cashing out here at the bottom. right? It's a nice little trade to the bottom. You don't have to go crazy. You can have a low capital position, low leverage, because the percentage moves, you know, just makes it worth the trade. Right, so those are the levels to the upside. The best level to the upside is, let's call it $96,500. This is the zone. It's the best area of resistance that we have to the upside. Something else that I just quickly want to look at is that if I just clean up the kitchen and I switch on that VRVP that I've just spoken about, I want to see how much volume is at that high. I need to bring some more price action into the zone. Okay, here you guys can also see, you know, look at the wall of volume to the upside. A massive wall of volume above the high. It ain't going to successfully break out on the first attempt. This could be that epic short that sends price all the way back down. Okay, you might not claim the low, but it could be still a nice little significant move. Also, when I now put this into the structure that I'm looking at from a bullish case perspective, I just want to see, out of interest sake, what does that look like? Here we go. Okay, so maybe this A wave, that A wave comes and claims the highs, and then it falls all the way back to complete this B wave, and then it tries again, falls all the way back, and it tries again, falls all the way back, it tries again, and now okay, maybe we're gonna go now, and it makes that deeper correction, and then it goes. Did you guys see? You can still chop in this zone. I'm not expecting a successful breakout on the first attempt. It would be very strange for price where it is at the moment to just do this, and it continues. It would be very strange. Okay. And it's just probabilities at the end of the day. Okay, I like the dawn squiggly up nice too. Everyone telling that it won't claim highs now make me feel it will. Yes, you know, sometimes you need to trade against the sentiment. 𝗖𝗿𝗆cie also will be at the crypto summit incoming. Yes, what is his name? On the tippy of my tongue, but he's here. What's his name? Charles, you will be there at the, these are all the people that's going to be there tomorrow. So it's going to be quite a, it's going to be a very interesting summit. And I do think, you know, it could be a buy the news, sell the event. Maybe nothing's going to happen over here, and maybe there will be crazy volatility tomorrow. But I am still expecting price to chop here. I'm still expecting price to chop here before it just leaves the station. Okay, it doesn't make sense to build up multiple 1-2s, 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 and we just fly to the upside because of this structure. This structure is the clue. You cannot have a 3-wave structure that does this. It's just highly unlikely. Okay, never impossible. Maybe it will be the first time that I see something like that. I've never seen that, because I remember this structure over here. Do you guys remember this structure? Let's keep it here on the 1 hour. Here at the lows. Look at this one. Okay. Everyone said that this is a 3-wave structure, but we still chopped for very long before we found upwards momentum. We chopped very long in this range. Can you guys see? We chopped very long. This is a 3-wave structure. We're going to claim the low, and we're going to go to $42,000. And then I did a couple of live streams where I said, guys, every single 5-wave structure, do you guys remember this conversation? Every single 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, that was supposed to make a higher low has failed us every time it claimed the damn low. This structure as well. Do you guys remember this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claimed the low. Every 5-wave structure failed us. And then the damn 3-wave structure took us into price discovery. And it all started here. A 3-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. But it didn't just do that. it chopped sideways for long, right? It went sideways for long before it started building up that momentum to the upside. Okay, similar, it gives me similar vibes where also everyone was calling for lower. We didn't go lower. What can I say? I'm not saying it's going to happen the exact same time, but now we have a three-wave structure, okay, and the low could be in. And because people see the three-wave structure, they think that we are going down. I'm saying that there's still a chance, okay, that we could chop sideways, and we could even chop sideways upwards, but I want us to chop sideways. It needs to be a contracting diagonal. Remember, legends, when I show you guys this example over here, okay, it could be that, let me zoom into the structure, just clean it up a little bit, because I don't know how the price action is going to play out. It could be that it does this. It makes all of these ABCs upwards, upwards, upwards. It comes back for a retest and then it continues, but it needs to form that contracting structure. It's not time yet. Whether it does this to the upside or whether it forms a nice little sideways one, you expect price to still chop before we get momentum to the upside. It's still a little bit too early, okay? Even with the summit coming up tomorrow, it's a little bit early, okay? From a structural perspective. So maybe that's the one that we're going to get. I don't know, but I will adjust the trends and as it plays out and as it forms, because we have to always just consider, well, what if this three-wave structure is going to fail us? What if there's something really going to go wrong tomorrow? What if the news is not as bullish as people expect? What if everything is pumping in anticipation of what's going to be said tomorrow, and then it's just a nothing burger? What if it does this? This scenario actually has higher probability. Okay, than just moving up. So my first probability that carries the highest probability, I would say, is chopping sideways and then going up. That's my number one probability, my primary scenario. The second scenario is that we do this. We claim the low again. Then my last scenario, okay, which carries the lowest probabilities and almost impossible, is for price to, this is the low, and we're just going to rock and roll and go into price discovery. It carries very, very low probability. Okay, so the probability to the downside is that if I go onto a 4-hour time frame, should be fine. Let's take the VRVP out, okay, is a larger corrective structure in the form of this little bad boy over here. Okay, so let me zoom in over here where we could go down lower, and it needs to take a little bit more time. Okay, so where you could come all the way down to even $63,000. And whatever is happening over here is now forming the X structure. This is now the X structure being formed at the moment. This is the highest point at the moment. But if this wave continues here to the upside, okay, that could be forming your X wave structure over there. And then you go back for a, okay, this could be the B. You guys know you can create a B flat. Okay, we speak about it often. You have your ABC, A, B, C to the downside to go and complete your Y wave, where you could come down as deep as $63,000 or as shallow as $75,000. But this still needs to take a little bit more time. Okay, so this is the most bearish case scenario, is that what if tomorrow is a nothing burger? We pump up and we fall down. Sell the news event. This scenario, unfortunately, carries much higher probability than us doing this. So let's rather chop sideways and create a contracting diagonal, then break out. Okay, but for everyone saying that tomorrow is the day where everything is just going to go into bull market territory, the technicals are telling me a different story. Okay, it's not time yet. Maybe we get the choppiness, okay? That has higher probability, then we break out, than just breaking out from where we are right now. Okay, cool, legends. I think I've harped on this situation or this scenario for long enough. Let's go back here onto the 15-minute time frame. So let's go and look at shorting opportunities. For me are actually very easy at the moment based on the structure. Okay, you could have entered at the 786. You could have used the 786 as an SFP. You are struggling at the 786. You're starting to trade below. You enter a short with your stop above the high. And remember, when price moves in your favor, it's always a good idea to protect your position so that if you are wrong, you get stopped out with no loss. And this is what happened last night as well. When I look at this structure, remember I said I'm looking for a short at the highs. Let me put my magnet on. Let's snap it on over here. Oh, wrong thingy. Let's do this again. Okay, I'm looking for a swing failure pattern from the highs. What happened? We got it. We tapped the 0.88. We got it. Okay, we failed to claim the high, left a beautiful wick behind. If I was in front of the charts, I would have most probably traded it. But I can tell you how I would have traded it. I would have put my stop loss above the high, and when price moves in my favor, I would have protected my position. Okay? And whether I took profits or didn't take profits, I would have been stopped out with no loss. I would have only paid the trading fees. Okay, this is how you were supposed to trade this. So if any of you entered, or if anybody entered the swing failure pattern over here, either your stop was above the wick and you had a teeny tiny little loss over there, or you protected your position when you saw the momentum to the downside. One, two. So you would have either been stopped out at a small loss, or you would have had no loss. Either or. If anyone sends me a message saying that, Dewald, I shorted the zone that you highlighted and I have liquidated my account, that is your shit. Okay, that's your shit. Like, I just have to be blunt with that. That's your shit. Why did you not manage your risk? Because I speak about, everyone here in the stream knows, I speak about these trading scenarios so often in terms of how I trade them, where I put my stop loss. Protect your position when price moves in your favor. Take profits at the lows. We did not hit the lows. So maybe this would have been a trade where I didn't take profits, but at least I would have been stopped out at break even. Okay, it's always important when you hit resistance to take profits, but we did not hit, support, but we did not hit support. So that is most probably a trade where I would have gotten stopped out either with a small little loss or at break even. Most probably break even, because I like to protect my position, because I remember when we traded this little bad boy, you guys remember that bad boy there to the upside? I got stopped out because I'm too defensive. And if I wasn't in the live stream, I would have re-entered that trade and I would have benefited from the momentum to the downside. Because I told everyone I can't open up my exchange, I have to do two-factor authentication. I'm here on the live stream with everyone, but this is where I would have short. This is where I would have put my stop loss. And then we got the massive drop, the incredible drop here to the downside. Okay. Yeah, right. Can't remember if it was this one. I think it was this one, right, legends? That one. And the rest is history. Okay. Cool. Remember to smash up that like button for the education, legends. We are still going to go through Ethereum and Chainlink as well. Chainlink looks incredible. Chainlink really looks incredible. ETH, we need to talk about ETH. We need to have a serious conversation about ETH. Something's not right there with ETH. But anyways, okay, cool, legends. So from a shorting perspective, okay, I'm looking at if you start switching on some point of controls, and right, we have a 0.88 level with a naked point of control. Okay, so if price still continues here to the upside, this is a short that I will attempt if I'm not here on the live stream. Okay, I do like that pivot. So it would be nice to grab the pivot, get acceptance back below. I know where to put my stop loss. As soon as price moves in your favor, you protect your position. You take profits when you start hitting support. You know, that's how I get, that's how you're supposed to get into the trades. You might have a different strategy, but that's how I trade. Okay. And then obviously we've spoken about the level here above where we have we still have, another naked point of control where you pay attention, you can put alarms on all of these lines, okay? And every time an alarm goes off, you go and you pay attention. You look for weakness. Do you see strength? Do you see weakness? Is it trading below the level or does it keep on trading above the level? Okay, above the level is not a sign of weakness. That's still strength to the upside. So from a shorting perspective, if price continues here to the upside, I know what to do over here. Okay, you have a pivot, you have a 0.8, you have a naked point of control. And by the way, if this is an A, B waves love 0.88 targets as well. They love it, they love it, they love it. Okay, so if this is an ABC and this is a bigger B here to the upside in a WXY structure or a WXY, however you want to count the structure, the B can reject by the 0.88. And the problem with a B wave, and maybe this is why this structure is so damn difficult, is because B waves are notoriously difficult to trade because they have so many levels and they have complex structures. Very, very, very complex structures. Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking about something else. So also, I want to take a trend-based fib from the high to the low and reverse it and just see where those levels end up at. Let me switch on the daily levels to weekly, monthly. Okay, so if this is an A and this is going to create a B flat here to the upside, okay, there's just so many levels, legends. 0.88, even where price reject now, 786 is a B target. 1.05 just above the highs is also a B flat target. 1.236 also a B flat target. Maximum target is the 1.238 or the 1.382 maximum. Okay, but I don't know if we're going to get there, right? Maybe we're just going to claim the highs and reject here by the weekly and the monthly level. If we do create a flat. So interesting zone to pay attention to shorts. Now what I want to see is longs. Okay, can we still get a long here to the upside? Is it possibly? So let's take the FIBs here out the way. Let's clean up the chart, the kitchen, as I like to say. Let's go back onto the 15-minute time frame, and now I want to look at this structure. Is there a possibility for more longs here to the upside? Well, you are still continuously forming higher lows, higher high, higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher low. So the trend is up. So maybe it's still in our best interest to look for longs to the upside until we get the rejection to the downside. But I don't want to say I'm spotting some weakness over there because I also spotted weakness over there, and then we continue to the upside, right? So from a price action perspective, what you would like to do is that you take your FIBs. Okay, so from this low to the high that we've made over there, we got the bounce at the 0.618. Beautiful. From the 382 all the way to the 786 is a bullish bouncing zone. As soon as you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. So if you use that theory that I've just shared and you apply it to every single structure where we have gotten the bounce so far is, okay, fib from the low to the high, very shallow. It looks like this needs to be the high. It didn't even touch a proper fib level. This one did. That teeny weeny one did. Okay, it got acceptance at the 50% Fibonacci. Maybe this is the bigger structure forming over here, right? It's already bounced on the 0.382. This pivot looks interesting. Maybe if price continues, okay, and it gets acceptance back above this pivot, it taps the 0.618. You're still creating higher lows, okay, and it could make another move here back to the upside to go and claim the high, right? So it's the longs are actually more difficult to get into because the risk management is heavy, okay, for a lack of a better word. The stop losses is far away. The shorts from a SFP from the top actually looks way better because you can manage your risk better. Okay, so longs are a little bit more tricky, but if you go on the thesis of every time we have a pump, we have a bullish retracement, you can put your stop below the low and you can have a little bit of a zone where you enter and you claim the high. So maybe this was the zone and we're going to go back up and claim the high. And then you wait for another retracement, okay, 0.618 when you take a fib from the low to the high, okay, and you just play the momentum to the upside all the time. Because we don't know when it's going to start rolling over and just break down. But at some point it has to break down, okay? Because nothing just carries on forever. At some point it needs to start finding weakness and breaking down. And during this momentum here to the upside, we have continuously created bearish local CVD, which tells me that this is not impulsive to the upside. This is very corrective to the upside. Can the high be in? There's a chance. There's a chance that the high can be in because we did reject by the 786 fib retracement. Also, I want to just do a 3-wave corrective structure target because this is something that I spoke about yesterday when you take a fib from the low to the high to the low. Okay, I did tell everyone it is a bit concerning that we haven't tapped a proper 3-wave structure target. When we were trading over here, I highlighted the 0.618. Minimum, if you're forming a 3-wave structure, this is the minimum target you want to tap. At least now we have tapped the minimum target. But look at how beautifully we swing failured from the 786. Do you guys see how easy the shorts actually are? The shorts are way easier. You get acceptance back below a level, you have a very tiny stop loss. The longs are actually very difficult to get into. And not necessarily difficult, the risk management is a lot further away. Okay, your stop loss is a lot further away, so you have to trade with less capital. But I mean, this was a short. This was a beautiful short at the 786, just using a Fibonacci trend-based extension. Okay, the most common targets is, oh, wow. Okay, right, now we've got some alignment. The most common 3-wave structure target is the 1-to-1, and there's a little pivot. I want to see if it has confluence with the 0. No, it's a little bit above the 0.88. Okay, but the 1-to-1 and the 1.236 here at the weekly and the monthly level, okay, is the most common 3-wave rejection targets. Now the question is, how do you count this structure? Is this the 3-wave structure or is this the 3-wave structure? Okay, it's a very complex, messy structure. And all we can do as technical traders is observe the price reaction when you hit levels. Naked point of controls, okay? It's the easiest way. If the structure cannot be counted or you're struggling to count the structure from a Elliot wave perspective, you just use your levels, okay? We have not tapped this naked point of control yet, so maybe if it does find upwards momentum and it does that, that's a shorting opportunity. If it continues, shorting opportunity, okay? If it continues, big shorting opportunity. I don't think there's a very low likelihood we're going to smash this level successfully. Okay, if momentum still grinds to the upside. Right, cool, legends. The reason I think that there's a chance that the high could be in, and the reason I think that is that, let's say tomorrow with the crypto summit, it's going to be extremely bullish. Just want to see over here. Right, how many likes do we have? 105 likes. 106 likes. Thanks for sharing that extra like over there. Appreciate it. I know we can do a little bit better with that like button over there. Okay, legends, I'm just rambling on over here, right? We've got 257 people on the live stream, 107 likes. I know we can do. If you have a like in you, why not share it here on the channel? You know, it would be absolutely amazing, and it helps the YouTube algorithm to spread the channel to other people that have not seen it before. Okay, so let's say the high is in for now, okay? there's a chance, maybe, and this is something that I've briefly tapped on just now as well. If we look at this structure, you know, once again, we're just looking at the structure to say that, well, what if we're forming this structure and A is in? Okay, let's say A is in right now. Now we need to come down for a B wave. And guess what? More or less from a timing perspective, this B wave will be completed by tomorrow. And then we have that nice little C wave there to the upside. Okay, so maybe if we dump today, it could be in preparation for this tomorrow. Okay, if we continue the dump today, and we, you know, you get those bounces along because nothing moves up in a straight line. You get the bounces. There's some trading opportunities, and we create the B wave here to the downside without taking the low. There's a high chance that we are going to get an explosive C wave tomorrow. That's going to dismally fail, get back below the highs, okay, and come back down like it did over here. Bam. But it did not take the lows. Okay, so you want, after this C wave, you do not want to take these lows. Okay, because I don't know how the structure, you know, you could have a little structure like this that's going to form. I don't know how this is going to form. Cool. If we continue momentum today to the upside, you know, this is not the scary part. If price continues to grind to the upside today, okay, you could be forming a larger A wave here to the upside. Let's say we are going to reject there by that monthly and that weekly level. Okay, let me just switch on one. Let's say the A wave is going to reject over here. This is now the scary part, legends, is that if we continue to grind to the upside today to come and complete the A wave, we could be in for a nasty big dump B wave tomorrow. Sell the news event. Okay. If I had to choose, I would say that this scenario, let me just undo this. If I had to choose and you put a gun to my head, let's just do this again. I would say, let's take the dump today, because C waves are very aggressive to the up and to the downside. B waves are not so aggressive. They're not really aggressive. So let's get the dump today, so that we can have the fake pump tomorrow and reject. Right, legends, that's basically the technical analysis here on Bitcoin at the moment. Okay. Also something I wanted to just look at over here is that let's go and look at the VRVP. I often speak about the VRVP, you know, looking for long opportunities. Okay, remember, you long support, you take profits by resistance, you take a flip from the low to the high, and now we're using the thesis of what if the high is in. I switch on the VRVP. Always interesting to see that if you have high volume nodes aligning with certain pivots. So based on volume and these little pivots over here, swing failure pattern, I will definitely consider a swing failure pattern over here. Okay, if price falls down and it does that, I will consider a long. Okay, remember, now you have resistance. If it comes back up, you take profits, because you could continue now. You know, you're looking to take small profits, scratch some profits from the market. Okay, if you shorted over here and you took profits over here, well done. You're looking to take advantage of that move because you're hitting support. Okay, so this is a longing opportunity. This is a profit taking scenario over here, and then another high volume node right at this low, nice little high volume node. And there's also a daily level there. Daily level at that high volume node. So definitely a longing opportunity over here. This is the juiciest one. This is the one I actually like the most, because there's an actual level with high volume and a pivot. So for me, this is the highest probable trade over here. If we aggressively fall, you could get a bounce that forms a lower high, and then continues, and I'm looking to take advantage of that move. As soon as you start hitting resistance, you need to start taking profits. Okay. So these are some of the longs that I'm looking at here to the downside. Other than that, you know, if you do not find support here by the 0.618 pivot daily level, there's not, can you guys see the gap in volume over here? Nice gap. If you lose this zone, you're most likely coming to the 786, which has a high volume node. Okay, and then I will use the 786, so you're finding support above these highs. I will use the 786 as an SFP line. If you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low, right? So some traders, what they do is just a little hint. You don't have to do it. This is the maximum bullish area for a bounce. Some people will, you know, if they enter a trade over here, they will actually put their stop loss as little bit below the 0.88 and not below this low to have tighter risk management because of the probabilities. Because when you tap the 0.88, you increase the probability of taking the low. So you actually want to be out the trade. Some traders will leave their stop losses here. There's pros and cons to each scenario. Okay, you want to be out the trade because you might come and claim the low. But you could also bounce on the 0.618, then take the low. Okay, so if you got stopped out because you took this trade, you're potentially still losing out on profits. So there's pros and cons to each scenario. The best way to get into this trade is just to play the swing failure pattern. Okay, then you don't have to worry about putting your stop loss there or there. You don't have to worry about that. The swing failure pattern is very easy. If price continues and it gets the acceptance back above, there's your stop loss. This is where you take profits. You're starting to hit resistance. Okay, then you're in and out. That's it. In and out. Scrape your dollars from the market. Okay, cool. So legends, I think I have gone through everything. Okay, I've gone through the bearish case scenarios. I've gone through the bullish case scenarios. I've gone through the longing opportunities. I've gone through the shorting opportunities. We have plans to the upside. We have plans to the downside. And I must say, this looks like the best long over here. Okay, and but also, you know, that could be a little bit of a front running scenario together with a high volume node, and then 786, beautiful zone over here where you find support above the highs. Okay, but I like this one the most. Just have to put it out there. This one looks the best because we have a nice level in confluence with a pivot and a high volume node. Okay, let me go through some comments and then we can go and look at ETH. We can look at Chainlink. We can look at some of your altcoin requests, because yesterday when I did the live stream, I did say that, guys, please post some altcoin requests in the comment section after the live stream, and I will go and have a look at some of those, right? So that's what I'm going to do today as well. So let me go through some comments and then we can continue. Okay, right. It's a pain when you not make any payouts. Oh, right. I'm missing the conversation over here. Hello, Dewald. Sorry I'm late. Hugo, welcome to the live stream. You're not late, right? You can always rewatch and rewind after we're done over here. Yes, tomorrow is definitely going to be volatile for sure, right? What are your FIB settings? So my FIB retracement, there's my settings. You can just take a screenshot and you can go and apply the settings. And then for my FIB, trend-based FIB, okay, these are my settings. You can take a screenshot and you can do what I'm doing over here. It's not neatly organized. It's just how I like it. Okay, right. So there's my FIB and trend-based FIB extension. I did see a lot of people like to put in, when you do a FIB retracement, a lot of traders like to put in the 0.65 or the 0.66 level as well, because it's a nice little zone. So you can open up one of these blocks and you can type in the 0.66, okay, and maybe make it green so it fits with this little green one, or maybe make it a different shade of green. And then when you have your FIB, okay, because a lot of traders, what they like is they call this the zone, the 618 zone over there. Okay, so you can use then both lines as SFP lines. So that's another option. I don't particularly like it. I just like the 618. Okay, so therefore I'm just going to go and take it out. But I have it. You can tick and untick it if you need it. Okay, cool. Let's go through some more comments. Dewald, how do you place volume node? Are you talking about the point of controls? Or are you talking about these volume nodes that I've been talking about? I just need some clarity. Miner? Okay, if you can just let me know, which volume node do you refer to? Okay, is that golden pocket right? Not sure what you mean. Doesn't Andy called it the golden pocket? Yes, the golden pocket. If you go and Google and chat GPT or whatever you want to do, the golden zone is referred to between the 618 and the 786. That's referred to as the golden zone. Andy refers to this zone as the golden pocket. So, you know, call it what you want. Golden pocket, golden zone. Okay. Yes, so yeah, you're right. Okay, Pac-Man, Andy refers to this as the golden pocket. Definitely, nice little zone, the golden pocket. Okay, a nice little area. Let me not confuse the terminology over here. Dewald, you was right. I had few good trades, but I forgot to pay myself. Next time won't happen. Yes, you know, it's such a important thing from a trading perspective, is that when people start getting the technical analysis right, the first thing that most people start struggling with is proper risk management. Okay, that's usually, you know, once you get the technical analysis right and you start getting the risk management right, where to put your stop losses, the thing that people struggle with the most is to take profits. Actually, how many times have you entered a trade that goes in your direction, and because you don't take profits, it stops you out? How many times have you entered a trade to perfection? Okay, a short, a long, whatever the case might be, and because that little greed monster on your shoulder told you that it's the trade, it's going to go to $120,000 or it's going to fall to $72,000, or you just want the high to be claimed one more time because maybe you got a beautiful entry over here and you're like, no, it's going to go one more time. No, it's going to go one more time. And then all of a sudden, it just falls down and stops you out. Or maybe, you know, you closed the position over there, but you've had all the profits that you missed out on. I think there are more people struggling with profit taking than technical analysis and risk, where to put your stop loss. I won't call it risk management. I will just say where to put your stop loss. But right, very, very valid point. It's about link. Dewald, what would you do, sell or hold if you are in profits? $600. Well, it depends on whether it's a day trade or a spot trade or a swing trade. It really depends. It's not an easy answer. $600 to me means nothing. It depends on what trade you are in. If you are in a day trade and you're hitting resistance, you have to take profits. I would take some of it at least, take half of it at least, okay? If it's a swing trade, you're building up a bigger position, you have a clear invalidation, a 600 profit could be nothing because maybe you're waiting for $10,000 profit or $20,000 profit where your resistance is going to hit. If it's a spot bag and you are building up a long-term position for maybe the next 3 to 4 to 5 months, then, you know, it's up to you if you want to take some of that profits, but you could be cutting yourself short depending on which coin you're trading. You know, where that's not an easy question to answer just in terms of monetary value. Okay, what else? When can we confirm that wave 4 has ended and wave 5 started? What is the scenario? Oh, on Bitcoin, 4-hour time frame. Let's look at this quickly. Potentially the fourth wave has started. So let me clean up the chart over here. You're talking about this scenario, right? Rahul, just let me put up the scenario and let me know. Are you talking about this scenario? Let me know in the comments. Waiting for Rahul to respond. Are you talking about this scenario? Maybe there's a little bit of a lag with the stream, so maybe you only hearing the comment now. Okay, cool. So I will keep an eye on Rahul over here, right? If the comment comes through, but if you are referring to this fourth wave, there's a high chance that the fourth wave is in. A high chance, okay? Because this fourth wave has passed the 1-to-1 extension when I measured this corrective structure. Yes, okay, cool. Took a long time for me to get that yes, but I think there's a little bit of a delay because I did change some YouTube settings as well, because I might be talking and 2 minutes later you are hearing, or 1 minute later you are hearing what I'm actually saying. So I know that there might be a little bit of a delay, but it does also help with the quality of the stream if there's a little bit of a delay. If I shorten the delay by the time I talk and by the time you get what I'm saying, then it can impact the quality of the stream. So I just played around with some settings, so I do apologize about that. Right, so if you compare this correction to this correction, it's now more than 1 times longer than this correction. So this is a high chance that the fourth wave is in, and we're going to start building impulses here to the upside to go and complete this fifth wave. So there's a high chance. Okay. My watch is telling me you need to stand up and move. Do you guys get those notifications on your fitness watches? Dewald, you've been sitting for too long. You need to get up and move. Okay, let's go through some more comments. So close to 150 likes. Are we close to 150? Can we get 6 more likes? And then I will start with Ethereum. Technical analysis on Ethereum. If we can get, now, I mean, 6 likes is too little. Can we get 10 more likes? Can we get to 160 likes? And then I'll start the technical analysis on Ethereum. We can look at Link. We can go look at some of your altcoin requests. Okay, I can spend a bit of time yet with the community today. Don't mind at all. I'm not in a rush today. Okay, what risk management and greed management. Yes, definitely, Pac-Man. You know, we all hear these words. It's just difficult to put it into practice for some, I always like to preach to everyone, you need to become robotic about your trades, but we are all human at the end of the day. Okay, we are human trying to be robotic about the trades and our emotions, and we all make mistakes. I wanted to use another word. We all make mistakes. Even with my trading career, even today, I still sometimes make emotional mistakes, but I make way less emotional mistakes as compared to where I started out. And I have to just constantly remind me when I fuck up that, Dewald, you are still human. You made a stuff up. Don't do it tomorrow. Just, and then I will sometimes, if I make the same mistake twice in a row, for example, I will write it out on a sticky note and stick it on my screen and say, you will not do that again, right? You have to, constantly manage your emotions. It's not just one day you become robotic. It doesn't work that way. We are still human. We flesh, we blood, we have emotions, we have hate, we have anger, greed, fear. We have all those emotions. It's just about mastering those emotions and constantly managing those emotions. Okay. Don't be so humble, Dewald. Ask for 100 for us. Yes, guys, can we get we're at 170 likes. Legends, let's continue with the live stream over here. Let's do some ETH. Let's do some ETH. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to do you know some alternative for not having TradingView Premium to draw the volume profile? No, no, I don't know. There might be, I think there's one that I know of, but I can't think of it right now. I would need to go and get the link and see if it still works, and also see if it's still for free. It's like CVD, okay? I know a lot of things that I used to use in the past, like CVD is still free, okay? Oh, this, fuck guys, I cannot tell you how bearish this looks, okay? Look at this, okay? And look at where CVD is. if CVD came down, sorry, I'm distracting myself. If CVD did this, I would have said, okay, we can still get a bounce to the upside. This looks weak as hell at the moment. Anyways, I got distracted. Like CVD here at the moment is for free, but I know that not all tools stay for free. What, a common business strategy that some businesses follow is that they will make a product or service either for free to get people to start using it. Then when you have, let's say you have 1 million people that have downloaded your product or service or your app that you are selling, they will then start monetizing it in terms of either charging the people to say that they love the product so much that they cannot go without it anymore. And then when you charge them $1 or $5 a month, they will gladly pay the subscription because they got too used to the product. So that's a business strategy that some businesses will use. I know because I used to have my own businesses as well. Another business strategy is to say that you give it for free to the users, but you start charging advertisement firms, okay, to advertise on your channel or on your platform so that they basically pay you for marketing, but you still offer the product for free. That's how Facebook works, okay? So I know that this tool is for free, but some of the volume profiles and some of the things that I used to get for free as well, I know that at some point they're going to start charging. So I need to go and do some, I know this was a very long-winded answer to answer your question. So I just need to go and make sure. But for now, let me just say the answer is no. Right. I don't even know if you need premium. I think you just need the, I can't remember the packages. I'm on premium, but you don't need premium to access some of the basic indicators and things like that. You can use the first subscription package. I can't remember all the packages. Okay, let me go check over here. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time over here, but you get the 3 or 4 different packages. You get all the indicators even on the cheap package. Okay, the reason I specifically have the premium package over here is because I love alarms. I want to give you guys the best technical experience when I don't want to analyze something and have a pop-up message come up and say, oh, you do not have access to this because you need to upgrade. Okay, I'm a YouTuber over here. I'm a technical trader. I want the best toolbox to give you the best experience and also not limit my technical abilities over here. Okay, you don't need the premium package. You need the starter package. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. Right, they just don't have all the technicals. They basically empty the free ones. Yes, okay. You only need basic package for all the indicators. Yes, Backman, okay, because before I started the YouTube channel, I had the basic package. The only thing I didn't like about the basic package is I ran out of alarms. If I'm doing multiple swing trades and stuff like that, I literally ran out of alarms and I needed to upgrade to the next package to get access to more alarms. That's the only reason I upgraded, but it was never a thing of I couldn't access an indicator and therefore I upgraded. Okay. Right, legends. Now, let's go into ETH because we can Q&A here all we want, okay? Let's look at Ethereum. First thing I want to do is focus on the 3-day chart. I want to put it here on log scale. Okay, it's already on log scale and I want to take that trend out the way. Now, let's look at ETH. I feel a little bit sad when I talk about ETH because when I analyzed it this morning, it's not looking too great for ETH. Although I think we can still hit $9,000 to $10,000 on ETH. Okay, so that's the short-term bullish scenario that I saw. But there's also a very, very bearish scenario for ETH. So I'm not sure why ETH is in the situation that it is in at the moment, unless there's a scenario that I'm currently not seeing. But I will share with you guys what I'm seeing at the moment, okay, and why potentially it doesn't look good for ETH. And it also maybe explains why ETH has been struggling this year. You know, we've had meme coins do hundreds of percents. We have some, you know, Link. We've had some really good runs with some of the layer ones, but ETH has really been struggling. Okay, so one of the scenarios that I came up with during my preparation, is this one. Okay, so quickly, it's always good to take stock of where you are from a macro perspective to see then where the smaller picture fits in. So from a macro perspective, price actually came down here. Price started way down here. It just wasn't listed here on TradingView, and it didn't have data yet. But there was a wave 1, we formed a wave 2, we had a 3, we had a 4, and now we have formed a 5 on 12 November 2021, wherever that high is, more or less in the zone. November 2021 is when we created the macro 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside of 3, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside of 5, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are here. And it explains why ETH is really struggling over here at the moment. Because remember, after you have formed a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what do you get after a 5? A long corrective structure. So even if you take a time fib from the low to the high, it's not time yet for this corrective structure to be finished. Okay, so ETH is struggling at the moment, and I'm not sure why. Maybe there's project issues that no one is aware about, or I don't know what's going on, legends. But there is I'm going through specifically now the bearish case scenario on ETH. There is a bullish case scenario as well. Okay, so bear with me. There will be a bullish and a bearish case, and then there will always be a what if scenario as well. So the bearish case scenario is that ETH has formed its macro topping point during the bull cycle of 2021. And now it's busy with a much larger corrective structure where we could have formed an ABC in W, an ABC in X, and now we're going down for an ABC in Y, which could take you as low as $509. That's scary, right? That's scary, but it's a normal retracement. Looking at the structure, it's a normal retracement. So if ETH cannot find support where it is right now, okay, there's a high chance that it can start hitting some of these levels. 0.618 is the minimum target, $1,450. The preferred or the common target is the 1-to-1 extension at $760, and then also very common is your 1.236. Okay, it should not come to the 1.618 because it's a WXY. The maximum target is the 1.236 at $510. So I just want to highlight here on the macro time frame that there's a scenario where it continues down and ETH does nothing. We've all been loading up our bags over here during this consolidation area, hoping for that nice little pump that's going to send ETH to Mars, which might not come. Okay, now let's turn ever so slightly a little bit bullish here on ETH. Exact same macro structure, I'm just changing the corrective structure. Okay, what if we're forming that? So I want to just take that WXY out. So this is the difference. Can you guys see the difference over here when I flash this on and off? Is that the fifth wave is still in, which was created in November 2021, but we are making a flat corrective structure. A in a ABC, okay, you have your A wave, you are forming a WXY in a B wave, 3-wave structure in a B wave. Okay, and then you're going to get the monstrosity to the downside. This B wave can go all the way up to $12,000-$13,000, which is still bearish from a macro perspective because it's a damn corrective structure, it's not an impulsive structure. Okay, so once that high is in, you pretty much want to get out of your ETH bags. Okay, unless you're a long-term holder that intends to keep ETH for the next 10 to 20 years, because after your C wave you expect a third macro wave to the upside. Okay, so when I zoom in, okay, for the long-term holders, please don't be scared out of your positions. So all I'm trying to highlight over here is, let me take the scribble here out the way. If you're a long-term holder and you plan to keep ETH for the next 10, 30, 40 years, it's not so bad. Because what you form is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you guys get the picture. I'm not going to put those ones exact, but you get the point, right? So you switch on your waves. This is potentially what ETH is now busy with. It's already made its first wave in number 5 during 2021. This is a larger corrective structure that's potentially forming to create 2. And then after 2, that's where the magic happens. Your third waves are the most explosive, the most aggressive, the most bullish. Okay, so maybe ETH is just going to disappoint a lot of people during this cycle that could still hit $12,000, $10,000, $13,000, which is not bad. It's still like a 10, 13x from here, or 10x. And then it's going to go into a much deeper C corrective structure. So I think the bear market during this cycle could hit ETH a lot harder than people are going to expect. Because if you create a B flat target above the highs, okay, you usually create a C flat as well that takes the lows at $820, round about that zone. Okay. So, legends, not looking good, right, for ETH. I'm not sure what is wrong with ETH. You know, maybe the news will... The technicals usually tells a story before the news comes out. The technicals are showing me ETH is busy with a corrective structure. So the corrective structure is either this, we're going down, the highest in at X, look at X over there, the highest in, or maybe because of the bull or the alt season that's potentially still going to kick in here, and you know, we're still expecting some upwards momentum, we are going to get this corrective structure. Okay, so now I want to dive into this corrective structure on the smaller time frames and see, well, can ETH find its legs over here? Okay, that's now the interesting question. Okay, Dewald, well, how much further down to complete the X wave over here? That's now the big question. Okay, so there's a chance if I take, and this is how you measure this, legends, a flat, you take your trend-based fib from the highs to the low, you drag it across, that's the fib that I just deleted now, okay, I'm just putting it back, you reverse it, and then the most common B flat target is between the 1.236 and the 1.382, which is actually not 14,000, okay? Between $9,000 and $7,000 is a B flat target, which is still nice here to the upside. So from where price is right now to the maximum target, you're still looking at a 3x. So, no, sorry guys, not 10x, it's 3x. 3.2x to the upside. 322% to the upside. Okay, so not looking great. I will still dig and see if I can find an alternative bullish scenario, because it just looks really bad based on the information that I have here at the moment. Okay, just looks so bad, right? But I mean, a 10,000, let's just call it a round number, a $10,000 or even a $9,000 or $7,000 ETH is still worth, if you've been accumulating in this zone over here and you've filled up your spot bags and you've been building your position, it's still worth the trade. Okay. Now, based on this bullish case scenario that I'm showing you guys over here, is that can the low be in? So I now want to zoom into the daily time frame and see, well, where are we? If we are now forming a W, ABC in W, okay, a ABC or corrective, a three-wave structure in X, and we are now going up to complete the Y wave, okay, can the low be in? So if I want to zoom into this structure. If this is an A wave over here, okay, maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an A wave, 5-wave structure in an A wave. 3-wave structure in a B wave, and this is now the C to the downside, okay, I can go and measure the targets for the C wave. Because I have B and A, I know where the targets are for the C wave. So you take a trend-based fib from the high of C to the low of A to the high of B. You reverse it. Now we have some very interesting targets, and guess where ETH is bouncing at the moment? At a very, very common C wave target, 1-to-1. This is where ETH is currently finding support. This means that the C wave could be finished. This means that ETH can go and complete its A wave over here, come down for the B wave and go back up for the C wave to go and create the flat to the upside. So basically you're still going up in corrective structures. Okay, so I think the only important point that I wanted to highlight over here is that it is bouncing at the moment at the 1-to-1 extension at $2,167. If ETH loses this zone for some reason, this is also a very common C wave target, 1.236 at $1,864. And then an extended C wave target is all the way down here at the 1.618. $1,461. Okay, so you do with this information how you want to do with this information. All I'm saying is, if I, no financial advice, was planning to accumulate ETH, expecting a $7,000, let's use the minimum target, the $7,000 area, okay, this is accumulation, this is DCA zone, this is DCA zone, and this is aggressive DCA zone. Okay, the lower, the more aggressive you get with DCAing, because you're dragging your entry down and you're hitting a maximum target. But this is where I will start DCAing. If I had to buy right now, I already have my ETH bags. I'm not buying at the moment, okay, because I bought a little bit lower, right? DCA, because you might not get these levels. You might not get them. And if you do get there, then you get it at a cheaper price. Right, but it is hitting the 1-to-1 extension, so there is a chance that ETH can break trend, find some consolidation, break trend, and start moving up. Okay. This is the high that needs to be claimed at $2,840. This is the high that needs to be claimed to confirm that the C wave is finished. If you do not claim this high, the C wave can continue to the downside. So this is actually your confirmation. And some technical traders, what they will do is they will wait for the confirmation. They will wait for that high and they will buy the retracement. And this is where they load up. They don't care about this DCA zone. They want to see the higher high first. They want to see market structure change. Okay, so it just depends on your trading strategy, how much cash you are trading with. But I mean, if I was trading with $1 billion, I would also wait for the confirmation rather. Okay, I can tell you guys now, if I was trading with $1 billion, like some of the institutions, I would wait for that. And then you start loading up with the retracement, where it finds support, and then you go, you want the confirmation, you want the higher high. Right. Cool, legends. So that's basically what I see here on the price of ETH at the moment. Remember to smash up that like button for the alpha. Okay, for the alpha. And I just want to see if there's maybe another scenario that I'm missing, because I know I have had previous scenarios. I just want to see if they've been invalidated. So I actually did that on another chart. So let me look at this ETH chart. No, that's the CME. It's this one. Okay, I just want to see something over here. Going to my folders. Okay. Sorry, legends. I'm just checking everything over here. Yeah, I mean, this was one of the bullish case scenarios that I also was looking at, but the targets are very similar to the B flat. Okay, very similar targets where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm on the daily time frame. You have made your larger corrective structure, okay, in a WXY, which is now completed. And you're now looking for the third wave here to the upside, right? But it's the same targets. I'm looking at the same target. So whether I count it like this or whether I count it as an ABC flat, I'm looking for these targets. The only difference between this scenario is if we are bulling a local bullish structure is that the third wave can get very punchy. So it can go higher. And I can tell you guys now, if we do hit 11, okay, let me go, that 1.618, okay, I think it was around about $14,000 or $13,000. If we go past $13,000 or $14,000, that macro bearish case scenario is invalidated. We're most likely going higher, okay, because these third waves can get punchy. But now it looks like this is actually the scenario. Okay, so I just want to see from a timing perspective, if I take a time from the low to the high, yes, that makes more sense. Okay, so if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1, this low was made before the 382. Doesn't make sense. Now it makes sense because the low is made after the 382. It's a minimum timing target. So whatever lows get created here is more than likely the low that's going to create the third wave here to the upside. Okay, so this is the most bullish case scenario that I have for ETH, excluding, not looking at the macro structure. I just have to say, because maybe I have counted the macro structure incorrectly. So if I simply look at, this was the top of 2021, this was the bear market, done. It's done. And it's now built a 1. This is a 2 that's about to finish. And now it's going to create a third wave here to the upside. These third waves can get very punchy. They can get very punchy. They do not have targets. The only thing that they do stipulate about third waves is they love the 618 targets. So when you take a trend-based fib from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to wherever this low is going to be, okay, God, let me go to the regular scale. Okay, people are going to think I'm smoking my socks. Okay, so let's just keep it real over here. 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, 4.618, 5.618, you choose, right? Wherever it stops, it's going to stop, but it likes the 618 targets. So it doesn't have to stop at $7,000. It can go to 10. It can go to 13. It can go to 16. So this is the bullish case scenario that I still have on the table, but then I'm excluding the macro view. Okay, I'm literally just saying this is the top. This was the bear market, and we're building another bullish structure here to the upside, which could mean that I counted the macro structure incorrectly, and this is maybe a 3, not a 5. And this is a 4, and it's creating now a fifth wave here to the upside in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so, Elliott wave theory, unfortunately, does not give you a crystal clear answer. There's a bullish case scenario, there's a bearish case scenario, but from a macro perspective, it doesn't look great because I'm excluding the macro structure here. I'm just looking at ETH from this pivot. ABC corrective structure, and now we're building more impulses to the upside. So what concerns me is if I go back, that's where the concern comes in. When I look at the macro structure from where ETH started, it could potentially be finished with the impulse here. And all of this is a corrective structure that's going to fall down. Okay. Right. Cool, legends. That's basically the technical analysis on ETH. Let me go through some comments and then we can go and have a quick look at Link. Okay. I've spoken about Link in quite some detail yesterday, so that analysis is still valid. There's just something else I quickly want to point out today for all the Link lovers out there. BTC dumping. Yes, I mean, there was a possibility for that low to be, on the 8-hour time frame, it doesn't look like a dump at all. But I can imagine if I go here onto the smaller time frames, then it's most probably losing some levels. Okay, so you guys can see, okay, the CVD played ball today. It showed us the weakness, it fell down. And it's still not showing strength. It's not showing strength at the moment at all. Okay. This is the pivot on white at that low. Look how far away it is. No bullish CVD. This is the pivot on blue. It already made bullish CVD and it got invalidated. Okay, on yellow, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about yellow. It's just bearish as hell. There's a long way. Okay, so, and remember guys, I did say that if I had to get my way, that sounds bad, with Bitcoin, in preparation for the crypto summit that's going to happen tomorrow, you want to actually get the dump today, so that tomorrow we can have a bullish C wave to the upside. ABC, ABC, maybe this is another ABC, and this is another ABC, but basically this is the structure that I'm looking at without confusing myself. Okay, this was potentially the A. We're going now back for a B. Okay, let me take the scribble out so you guys can see it clearer. I would like the dump today so that tomorrow we can get that. So tomorrow maybe we're going to get this. Okay, what happened with the Trump thing, right? So it would be nice to get the pullback today so that tomorrow we can have the fake pump and then fall back down. Okay, but I want to take advantage of that move, right? It does. I do like that. You know, the longing zones that I spoke about in the structure. I do like that pivot, and a little bit further down that 786 where we have that high volume node. So pay attention, because these two zones, okay, could be the zones that gives us the C wave to the upside. So you want to be positioned over here, because it's not guaranteed you're going to take this low. It's not guaranteed. You could create a B wave here to the downside, find support, and bounce in a C wave tomorrow. Okay, this can take the whole day today to play out to create this B wave, and then tomorrow we get this nice little, you know, and people are going to call it manipulation. We're going to get the manipulation wave to the upside, but I want to be inside of the manipulation wave. Okay, and I can tell you guys now, the highs will be a profit taking area for me. If I can get in here, right in this zone, I will definitely take some profits. A majority, if not even close my position at the high. I don't care if it goes much higher. I just want, you know, I want this. I'm not greedy. I just want a successful trade. And that's quite significant. Trust me, that's a significant trade with a little bit of leverage. Okay. Right. Can you please give us 2 examples which it shows a strong CVD and a weak one, please, if you have time? I can do that, legends. But remember, if you'd like to come and trade, support the channel over here where I organize you guys the best deals. Okay. I've got Bluffin. I really enjoy trading on Bluffin. The more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. There's also a new exciting thing going to happen on Bluffin, which I will announce shortly. All you need is an email and a password. I also have weeks where you get that 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. So if you deposit $2,000, you get $1,000 to trade with. If you deposit $100, you get $50 to trade with. Right, so your way to support the channel, and all you need is an email and a password. Okay, cool. Now, and if you would like to come and join our Legends community, where I'm going to do a private update a little bit later. Myself and Andy actually do private updates every single day. Well, Monday to Friday, most of the time, sometimes on weekends as well, inside of our Legends Pro community, where you have access to the masterclass. You learn everything about volume trading, harmonics, swing failure patterns, how to apply good risk management, Elliot wave theory. Okay, we have the free section and we have the paid for section. And right, so definitely if you want to take your trading to the next level and you are serious about trading and be surrounded by like-minded people, we have some really experienced traders inside of our Legends Pro community. Okay, that's the place you want to be. Currently getting the dump here to the downside, right? And I mean, such a nice area to have rejected. So I mean, also we got the rejection there at the 786. Okay, look at that beautiful rejection at the 786, currently getting the dump to the downside. Okay, it was, remember I spoke about this level and I said that 786 also, when you take a fib, okay, from the high to the low, okay, that 786 level just felt like it's in the middle of nowhere. 786, 786. there's no real price action, and that's where we got the rejection. Strange, right? We got the rejection at a level that was least expected, but there was weakness on CVD. So for the person that asked for CVD, right, to show you an example, there's actually a very recent example. So look at this. Okay, you have higher high on you have higher low on price action against this pivot. On CVD, you had lower lows. The target is the high. We took it. Okay, that's the most recent example. Then inside of the local structure, can we identify 𝗬𝗍𝗃 CVD? Why did we fall down? At the moment, why did we fall down? Well, there's a couple of ones over here. There was 𝗬𝗍𝗃 CVD against those two pivots. Okay. The target is the low. There was 𝗬𝗍𝗃 CVD against those two pivots. The target is the low. Okay. There was also more 𝗬𝗍𝗃 CVD, but you can see, okay, lower highs on price action, higher highs on CVD. Okay, confirming momentum to the downside. Right, so those are two bearish and one bullish scenario that I can show you just off the bat. Right, let's see if there was something else here at the bottom. There's nothing between these two pivots. But there was bullish CVD against these pivots. Can you guys see that on blue? Okay, against this pivot, against this pivot. Look at blue, absolutely tanking to the downside. That's bullish. Higher low, lower low on CVD. The target was the high, and we took it. Okay, so CVD does play out 74% of the time. Yesterday's scenario didn't work so well, but it still gave us the weakness that we needed to see. Okay, right. Sorry, but I still haven't got the grasp of... Okay, stop smoking your sauce. Right, legends. The short was the 786. Yes, market M, that was the short. It was a very unsure short, you know, and often what happens is, you know, you get the bounce or the rejection at a level that you least expected, but it was a Fibonacci level. So if you treat it, because I did speak about this level yesterday in the live stream, okay? If you treated the 786, forget about this one. From a Fib extension perspective, this is the one that I showed yesterday. From a Fib extension perspective, I said it is very strange when we were trading over here that we did not hit a Fib level at least. Very rare target, a little bit more common, very common, very common. Okay, and look at where we got the rejection. So if you use the 786 Fib extension level as a swing failure, you get, you know, you pierce the level and you start trading below. That is where you short and you put your stop loss above the high. Price falls down, you are in profits, you protect your position. You start hitting support like we're doing now, you start taking profits. This is where you start taking profits. You're hitting support. Okay, can it continue? Yes. But as a day trading, this is quite a significant move. I can tell you guys now, from a day trading perspective, if you want to get in, get out, it's quite a significant move. Can it go lower? Definitely, right? And that's why you leave some of the position open for lower levels. And if you do get stopped out, at least you get stopped out with profits. Okay, cool, legends. Let's go and have a quick squiz at... Oh, it's almost 2 hours here on the live stream, but I'm not done. I'm not done yet. Smash up that like for the education. I quickly want to show you guys something on Link. Link looks incredible compared to ETH. It looks super sexy. It looks... I'm running out of words, okay? It looks very good. It does have a bearish case scenario, but the bullish case scenario looks super sexy. It looks incredible. Okay, I want to show you guys. I just want to hide this because I don't want to redo this. Okay, let's hide that. Let's look at ETH quickly on the daily, on the 3-day chart. And I'm not going to spend as much time on Link because I did go through it quite extensively yesterday. So let's look at the 3-day chart here on Link. And this, its structure looks way better than Ethereum, because when I start putting on my macro counts, okay, ETH has already completed its second wave. ETH is here. ETH is here somewhere. Can you guys see the problem with ETH versus Link? Link has already completed its macro 2. It has already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has had a deep correction where it has completed its number 2. And boy, oh boy, it's now potentially busy with its macro 3 over here. So it just, technically, it looks way sexier than ETH. Can ETH go to $20,000? Yes, there's a chance it can go to $20,000. If I had to place my bets, I would rather bet on Link. Okay, Link from a macro perspective just looks way better than ETH. Even Litecoin, okay, I will show you guys some, I'm not going to have time today. Litecoin looks way better than ETH. The dinosaur coins, it looks like the dinosaur coins are catching a second breath, right? But even Litecoin looks incredible compared to ETH. But it's not to say that ETH can't run. Maybe I made a mistake on the macro structure, and I'm going to give it a little bit more love and try and see if I can find a bullish count for ETH, okay, on the macro time frame. But the only thing I wanted to point out over here quickly, legends, is that this little structure that Link has been forming here to the upside, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1. WXY in 2, okay, 3-wave corrective structure in 2. You've now built a 1, 2. Now it's building up, guess what? Another 1, 2. 1, 2, double 1, 2, triple 1, 2 combos is the most bullish structures in Elliott wave theory. This is a normal impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, okay, done. Well, it's done over there. Normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's done. When you build up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you get a massive you get a much bigger third wave. When this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you explode. It's a much larger third wave. So it looks like in the bullish case scenario, Link is preparing for something amazing because it has a double 1, 2. It has, look at the green, it has a 1, and look at the white, it has another 1. It has a 1, 2, 1, 2. And look at the support. Look at the support box. Beautiful support. And this is where Link found support 2 days ago. Okay, that was a good buy zone for Link. If I go back here onto the daily time frame, just want to zoom into this structure. Okay. So I've got my bullish hat on. Remember, there's a bearish case scenario as well, right? Please do not go and think that this is the only scenario and it's only up from here. Okay. And I can't exactly remember, but I bought a little bit more Link. During last week's live stream, I told everyone I bought more Link. Okay, so I did add a little bit to my bags. Because of the technically it looks great, right? Until invalidated. So Link has formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 1, and this is potentially the end of the corrective structure. And this is what I want to show you right now. If this is an A, B, C, a W, X, Y, I don't care which 3-wave structure it is, it has a target. Now, I zoomed in this morning into the smaller time frames over here just to see that, well, can this corrective structure be finished? Because it is pumping like crazy here to the upside. It's been up since the low. It's already been up 30% to the upside. Also, when you take a fib from the low to the high, it's around about the golden zone. It's inside the golden zone. Between the 618 and 786, almost tapped to 0.786. And now what I want to figure out is the C wave finished, or can the C wave still go down? Okay, this is now what I was trying to figure out today. So is this a fake pump? Are we going to come down and claim the lows again? This is what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, in a nutshell. So you take your trend-based fib from the high to the low, to the high. Ooh, what an interesting target. We, you know, and this is how I say the rhyme usually. 1-to-1 extension, beautiful C wave target. We did tap it over there. Look at that massive bounce we got from the 1-to-1. Beautiful bounce. And most probably people thought, okay, you've tapped the C wave target. It's only up from here. And then we came down to the next common target, the 1.236. And we have tapped it twice already. It wasn't as crazy as this one. It actually tapped it, found a consolidation. So there's a chance, a high chance, that the low could be in for Chainlink. Well, in this zone, this is the zone where you want Chainlink to find its support. You do have an extended target, the 1.618, which is a C wave target, but it's not a preferred, it's an extended target, a more rare. This is common, rare, and also considered an extended target. So if things get really nasty to the downside, and this turns out to be a fake pump, $11 is where you want to pay attention. That's the maximum target. Okay, but there's some good news. It has found support at the 1.236, and it could get the bounce here to the upside, and this could potentially be the low, right? So if you have not built your spot position, or if I have not built my spot position yet, what I would wait for is a retreat, because nothing goes up in a straight line. Remember that, guys. You wait for consolidation, you wait for a retracement, you wait for a bull flag, you wait for, you wait for signs of strength. You don't just FOMO in. Okay, you wait for a breakout on the 15-minute time frame. Maybe it forms a small little breakout strategy where you can apply good risk management. Don't just FOMO in because it looks great and the low could be in, and then it comes back down, and then it moves up, and then you chicken out over here because it went down too far and you're deep underwater. Okay, and you couldn't take the loss, and then it rock and rolls to the upside. So this is a good zone. It's a really good zone to start accumulating, either from a spot perspective. If you want to open up a swing trade, I would wait for lower. I would wait for retracement. You need to apply your trading strategy. Okay, I mean, that is 30%. Okay, 10x leverage, 5x leverage, you'll get liquidated. All right, please don't be Mr. Brave Star over here. What is also interesting, I wanted to check this 1.618. If we can like to hit the 1.618 over here, will it invalidate this one? That's also something that I looked at this morning. Okay, I can actually switch this off just to clean up the chart a little bit over here. Okay, let's switch off the chart and do this. Okay. Ironically, even if we hit the extended target from a corrective structure perspective, even if this is a fake pump and it falls back down, the 1.618, which is a maximum corrective structure target, aligns perfectly with the 786, which is the maximum bullish target for a 1-2. So if Link by some miracle comes down to $10, $11, okay, that for me is where I sell my wife, my child, my house, buy a tent, and you go all in over here. And then once you've made the millions of dollars to the upside, okay, that is where you can use the money to say, I'm sorry, okay, and buy back the love. No, I'm just Legends, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, cool. So that's something that I was, yesterday I did the technical analysis here on Link, and I just wanted to see, well, worst case, I like to play out worst case scenario. If this is a 1-2, which is now bounced on the 0.618 and the 1.236, so there's a chance that the low could be in. High chance. Worst case scenario, if it continues to the downside, is this target still at a bullish zone? Yes, it is. I will be buying like a crazy person over here if we hit this target. Okay, I've already got a spot bag at lower levels, and I did buy somewhere over here where I told everyone last week I added to my spot bags. So I'm happy with my entry at the moment. But if we come down lower, this is the only place where I will add again. So wanted to quickly point that out. Right, Legends, remember to smash up that like button for the education, for the alpha, for the levels. Okay, Link looks amazing. Link looks really, really amazing. Guys, now I know I have been here for over 2 hours, but I want to stay here for a little while longer. If you would like me to stay here for a little longer and go through some altcoin requests, okay, I need to see that like button, at least another 10 likes. Can we get another 10 likes? We are 212 likes. Can we get 125 likes? And then I can take some altcoin requests. Selling your wife is not good risk management. Yes, no, it's not right. She could come and haunt you. AR Fartcoin, like. So first thing I want to do is I see the altcoin request coming through. Do we have? Yes, we have 10 more likes. Let's go. Fartcoin. AR, yes, Kadosh, right? I also have a big AR bag. I have a significant AR bag because also the structure looks incredible. It's not, giving me the momentum that Link's giving at the moment, but it's coming. It's coming, right? We just need dominance to, start falling to the downside. I do have AR, as you can see. I do have AR. I'm keeping an eye on AR, but it looks like Link is getting all the attention at the moment. The liquidity is flowing into Link, but the first thing I want to do is I want to go into yesterday's live stream and just close up this description, show less, and then I want to, guys, remember all the links and the bitcoins and the ARs and the altcoins that I'm showing you over here can be traded on Bluffin and on Weeks, including 𝗞𝗖𝗃𝗿. I do have 𝗞𝗖𝗃𝗿 in my description as well, where you get the bigger sign-up bonuses and trading fees. But some people just don't want to verify themselves. Okay, everyone wants to trade leverage and they want a platform where they only need an email and a password. So legends, yesterday during the live stream, I ended off by saying, guys, if you want an altcoin that you would like me to have a look at, please post it in the comments. So I have to give priority to the people that's asked inside of here. Okay, first. Right, and I really love this comment by Mr. Hockey over here, where he said, nobody ever calls it correct or 100% of the time, but your thought process has validity, explanation, probability. Appreciate all the hard work. So it's nice to see the positive comments that I received after I thought that we were going to fall to the downside, okay, based on technical analysis. So thank you so much. I appreciate all the comments. And you guys can see that I love and like every comment. Sometimes I reply, but I do read every single comment. Okay. So, right. Dewald cover flux, please. 13 hours. Let's take the first one. Tia, someone asked for what is it called? Layer AI. Let's go and have a quick look. Guys, I'm not going to spend the amount of time that I've done on Link and ETH. It takes a good couple of hours to put proper technical analysis together. So the technical analysis that I'm doing here on the altcoin requests are on the fly. Okay, cool. So let's go. Let's look at layer AI. Now, TR is something different. It's not layer AI. Sorry, guys. I am smoking my socks. Is it Thai? Let me have a look. Thai. Okay. Let's open up the 𝗞𝗄𝗃 one and see what is cooking with Mr. Thai over here. I'm confusing it with Tia. Okay, yeah, I'm confusing it with Tia over here. Can you guys see there? I thought you were talking about that one because I'm quite familiar with Tia, but not with Tarsh protocol. Okay, cool. So on the daily time frame, you are hitting nice support. Okay, you are hitting beautiful support over here that for the bulls needs to hold because it doesn't look like there's much support to the downside. Okay, so if this is the token that you wanted me to analyze, Mr. FB98, okay, Thai, please. right? If this is the token, then this is the zone that needs to hold from a support perspective. There's not much price action from a historical perspective, but you can see how beautifully this zone has acted as resistance and support, 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 and now it's back at support. So this is usually from a technical perspective where you want to start accumulating, but if you want confirmation to get back into the trade, it doesn't have a beautiful trend. It's a very round formation. So where do you put your trend? Is your trend there? Is your trend there? Is your trend there? Right? It's not an easy one to play the breakout. Okay. In essence, it's not an easy token to analyze based on the technicals. A very, very, very round formation over here. I just want to make sure. Okay, maybe that will look better. Let's see. Okay. Sometimes, guys, a new trick that I found, I'm still back testing it. A new trick that I found is to put your chart on the line chart and then put your trend line. Okay, on 3 taps. I'm still back testing it, but so far the results are really good to spot fake outs and put your trend where you're supposed to put your trend. Especially sometimes when you have confusing candles like this. Okay, where do you put your trend? Do you put it above that week? Do you put it over there? Do you put it there? And then I'm busy back testing it. I'm not done yet, but the results are looking promising so far from my back testing. Is that I'm back testing the line chart to see that when a trend line becomes confusing and you don't know where to put it or where the real breakout is going to happen. Okay, this is the one that I'm using, and then you just switch back to bars, and then you know, okay, that's the trend that needs to break. Okay, so if you are too scared to buy over here, you wait for the break of the trend. You want price to break out and consolidate sideways outside of the trend for at least a week, 3 days minimum. Okay, you want some high time frame candle outside of the trend to prevent that and that. You don't want to get into the fake outs. You want price to consolidate outside and start claiming these highs. If you want to be a little bit more patient, let market structure start changing. Claim the highs, make higher highs, and look for the retracement for an entry. Okay, but I mean, other than that, there's not much to analyze. That's it. That's all I can see over here. It is inside a very good accumulation zone. So typically from an investment perspective, and remember guys, this is not financial advice, okay? This is the zone, right? It's the zone where you want to start accumulating, especially if you're bullish on the fundamentals. I do not know any of the fundamentals on this project, so trade with caution. Right, next up, let's see. I'm just going to ICP. Let's go and look at ICP. I'm quite familiar with ICP. I know Andy likes ICP. Let's go. Again, right? Let's go to the line chart. Let's keep. I just want to see, is that trend where it's supposed to be? No, it's not connected over here. Okay, that's the trend. Beautiful 4 taps. Beautiful, beautiful. Now if you put it back onto the candles, okay, that's where your trend is supposed to be. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I want to check ICP here on the 4-hour daily time frame. It's a potential WXY. This looks like a WXY. Corrective structure. WXY. Now the question is Y in? That's now the question. Okay. It's easy to analyze a chart that has a lot of data, prehistoric data, that comes from a low that is now at a higher low. It has a structure before, because, you know, it's just easy. I'm not going to go and count everything, but it looks like there could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could definitely be an impulsive structure, and this is all part of the corrective structure. Because you took the low, you know that this is part of the corrective structure because you took the low. This low is still protected, which means that this could still be a bullish structure. So just to share with you what goes through my mind in my thinking process when I look at a chart. Okay. Right, so also what I want to do is take a fib from the low to the high and see, okay, we are at the maximum bullish bouncing area, 786. So if this is a 1, this is a 2, this is where you want price to find support. Okay, so I want to drag this across. I want to put it down ever so slightly because this is the support zone. And I just want to see if it, yes, this is definitely support. Okay, so let's make that green. Right, cool. And take the brushes here out the way. And let's see. Okay, now the last thing I want to do is measure the corrective structure targets. So I want to take a trend-based fib from the high to the low to the high to see that, well, is there a chance for Y to be in? Okay, the 0.618, where price is basically at the moment, is a Y wave target. So there's a chance that the Y wave can be in. The most common target is the 121 and the 1.236, which doesn't make sense. So if the targets doesn't really make sense, I like to jump to the logarithmic. Okay, now this is where it becomes interesting. Now you will see that the 121 extension has confluence with a 786. Let me just drag this across so you guys can see. Okay, so we are at the 0.618. The 0.618 is a Y wave target. So there's a chance that the low could be in. I just have to say that. There's a chance the low could be in. It's not a common target, but it is a Y wave target. Okay. The most common Y wave target is the 121 and the 1.236. Ideally, if ICP still finds downwards momentum, this needs to be the low. It should not go lower than that. Otherwise, you're going to invalidate the bullish structure. Okay, 121 extension together with the 0.786 at $4.3. But at the 0.618 is where you can start DCAing. Please, no financial advice, because there's a chance that the low could be in. It has grabbed the liquidity. Basically, it's grabbed the liquidity below the low. Because anyone that played the momentum here to the upside thinking that it's going to go to the all-time highs, where did they put their stop losses? Yeah, and they have now all been stopped out. Okay. If I had to invest, I don't have an ICP bag. If I had to invest in ICP, I would prefer $4. Okay. And it just looks like the best level over here. But I'm not saying that it can't find support. So you always have to have your front running scenario. So from a front running perspective is when I look at the structure, you wait for the break of the trend. So if it does not come to the 786 and it does this and it claims the highs, so it makes a higher high, I'm going to be interested in the retracement. So the trend line, remember guys, the trend line is your front running, okay, or your breakout. It shows you that momentum is changing. As long as you do not successfully break the trend, okay, you can always DCA at different levels, just, you know, adding to the lows. But that is your confirmation that momentum is starting to shift, especially when you make a higher high, looking at the current structure. If it continues to fall down, okay, you want it to break the trend, and you wanted to claim the highs, higher high, and then you get in at the higher low, and then you continue, right? Depending on what your strategy is. Maybe you just want to DCA, but this is the last DCA as at $4, right? You don't want it to lose $4. If it's going to go down below $4, it's going to invalidate the bullish structure, and it's not going to look good. Okay, that's basically what I see on ICP. ICP looked like it was forming a 112. Okay, it really looked like Link. Link is actually looks more like it's forming a 112, but it looked like it was doing a 1 2 1 2. And if it could have held this if it could have held this zone, there was a high chance for this to be a 1 2 1 2, an explosive third wave here to the upside. But it took the low and it invalidated this 1 2, which now becomes a WXY. Easiest way to explain it. Okay, cool. AR, Right, I'm going to take one more request here. Okay, there's still so many to go through, guys. You're going to have to let me know in the comments again. But maybe during the next live stream, we'll do some on demand. Okay, yeah, in the comment section. So AR, I really don't mind looking at AR. Very, very simple explanation. Okay. There's no 112s or anything like that on AR. All AR has is a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish structure to the upside. And it looks like there could be a WXY here to the downside that is almost finished. You have a bigger trend that you can wait for the breakout, and even here on the smaller time frames, okay, there's a trend that I'm tracking over here with my alarms set. You guys can see, okay. There's a trend with my alarm waiting for the breakout, and then you've got your bigger trend running here to the downside waiting for the breakout. And I also had that mini trend when I played the breakout. Okay, so quite crazy how you can track the momentum here to the downside. What I want to see is when I go onto the logarithmic scale, okay, just call it the log scale. Ignore the trends on the log scale because they do jump around, is that you are still in bullish territory. So from the low to the high, we have not tapped the 786. I remember when we were trading over here, I told everyone, I don't know if it was higher. When we were trading over here, I told everyone I would love the 786 to be tapped because there's so much liquidity below these lows. You want to stop out everyone, and then it continues to the upside. So it's very, very close, and it's at a point where it could potentially turn around. But it would be nice to come and tap $6.4 here on AR, okay, where you then form a 1, 2, and you create a third wave to the upside. Obviously, guys, this is the bullish case scenario, okay? Even with ICP and the other tokens that I've just analyzed, if you take the low, or even if you start tapping the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. Sometimes what happens when you tap the 0.88, it comes back to the 0.618, and then it goes to claim the low. So usually what some traders will do is when you tap the 0.88, they will leave their position and they will cash out over here, or a partial of their entry, maybe 50% of their entry, because you could still get the bounce, but you could also reject miserably by this resistance point and claim the lows, and then at least you are out of the position with profits. Okay, but when you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low, and I have to give the structure the benefit of the doubt until it's invalidated. Okay. From a corrective perspective, from the high to the low to the high, did we tap a target? Oh, beautiful. Whether this is an ABC, whether this is a WXY, I don't care. It's a three-wave corrective structure. It has, because they have the same targets. The only difference is a WXY has a maximum target of the 1.236. ABC has a maximum target of the 1.618. It can even go to the 2.618, but it's very rare, very rare. Okay, but I have seen it on Bitcoin. I have seen the 2.618 hit on Bitcoin. Anyways, we have hit the 1-to-1 extension. Love it, love it, love it. And this is currently where it's chopping at the moment. It would be nice to tap the 786, but you are at a zone where I'm very, very, very interested in AR. Okay, it's currently finding support inside of this consolidation area. And if the bullish case scenario had to play out, I go back onto the daily time frame. I want to go I want to go back to the regular scale because I want conservative targets. I don't want to make anyone think that, you know, Link is AR is going to go to $500 or something silly. If AR can manage to find support over here, this is the target that I am looking at. $80. Could even go and claim $100. And these are conservative targets. Very conservative. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very, very conservative targets. I do have more bullish targets to the upside, which are absolutely insane, but I'm just going to share the conservative targets at the moment. Legends, remember to smash up that like, and for you to also support the channel. It costs you nothing extra. You get the extra deals and the benefits. use the links down in the description to trade with, right? Cost you nothing extra, and you benefit from the biggest deals and sign-up bonuses. Okay, because I speak to these exchanges and we organize these deals for you. If you go and Google search them, you're not going to get 50% discount or 50% deposit bonus on weeks. You're not going to get 100K sign-up bonus for Bluffin and any of the other exchanges. Legends, thank you so much for your time. I have unfortunately run out of time. It's been a 2.5 hour live stream. So let's call it a day for today. I will see you all next in the next live stream. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane. Legends, I still wanted to go through this news with everyone. Okay, where's that news? Right, this is the crypto summit that is happening tomorrow at the White House. Okay, Michael Saylor hinted yesterday on TV that the US will potentially buy 1 million Bitcoin. Holy shit, for the strategic reserve. That will be extremely bullish. Okay, it makes sense why Bitcoin is potentially falling here to the downside at the moment. So it can prepare for that C wave here to the upside. Okay, I mean, there's some bullish things that could happen tomorrow. Government, okay, that's fine. Right, Bollinger Band is being respected. In the past, 𝗬𝗍cie has it. Yeah, I mean, we all saw the pullback on 𝗬𝗍cie. I don't care about the 𝗬𝗍cie. I trade the chart in front of me. Inflows, outflows. Okay, not much interesting over here. I think the most interesting part of the news was this little calendar over here. Legends, have yourselves an amazing day. I will see you all tomorrow in the next live stream. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning. Until the next one, cheers for now.